So we're just leaving town. Found a nice homestay. Mom with a bunch of little kids running around the house. Made us a nice dinner and breakfast this morning. Now we're on the pavement. We've got about a 25-kilometer climb and then another just a nice quick downhill into the next town. And over that mountain range behind me there, on the other side of that, is Song Kul Lake, which is our destination tomorrow. There was an option where we could have gone up into those mountains today, pretty much straight to the lake, but we decided yesterday doing Kegety Pass was a bit much to try to do that back to back. So we're going a different way. We still have to cross that mountain range. We'll just do it the day after. So that's what we'll be doing tomorrow. Until then, lots of pavement.
So the day started out pretty well. Road conditions were good, traffic was light, except for the random horse from time to time. But as the day went on, it started to get a bit windy. And when I say windy, it was screaming headwinds.
Now we're walking uphill into the wind on a nice steep road.
Of the 25-kilometer hill, I'm pretty sure we pushed about 20 kilometers. In the end, it took us about 6 hours of pushing to reach the pass, and we were so happy to find the downhill, even though the wind was still pretty brutal and we were having to pedal downhill just to keep our speed. But we were so happy to find that downhill section. We finally made our way down into the river valley to the town of Kyrgyzstan. We settled into a nice guest house and got some help from a friendly puppy that was trying to help me fix my bike. Day 8 was a short day. It was only 16 kilometers from leaving Kyrgyzstan, heading up the Bazar Turuk Valley, and just starting our climb up the Issyk Pass to get to Song Kul. Started out in the valley, pretty easy riding, lots of cattle, lots of livestock. But then once we crossed the river and started to climb, things got steep pretty quick.
So we've just left the town of Kyrgyzstan. Had a nice 10-kilometer ride up the river valley, about 2 or 3% grade, wasn't too bad. Nice dirt road. But then we started working our way up. That was the river valley behind us, and we're heading up towards Song Kul. It's hot, it's dry, it's dusty, and it's a lot of pushing. All I can think about is I'm really looking forward to jumping headfirst into the icy waters of Song Kul. Hopefully soon.
We knew tomorrow was going to be quite a tough climb, so we stopped early and made camp and just relaxed for the rest of the day. Once we got the drone up, we made a pretty awesome discovery. We happened to be camping in an old graveyard, an old burial mound. There were dozens of burial mounds. Some were big, some were small, some had headstones, some had carvings, and just completely random, out of nowhere. We just happened upon this place, so I I have no idea how old it is. We saw some other ones along the highway with some markings that said they were from about 300 CE. So I'm guessing these are probably about the same, but yeah, just really cool how we randomly found these hills. We got an early start this morning and hit the dusty trail and started our climb up to Issyk Pass, heading towards Song Kul.
Okay, so we've got a little over 5K to go. You can see it's an average of 13% grade. However, it's very flat for a long time. So that just means it's gonna be 20s when we get up there. Onwards and upwards.
This trail is popular with trekking and horses for tourism. It's not frequented too much by bicycles, but it's definitely a doable track. Like, yes, it's steep. Yes, there's a lot of pushing, but it's really beautiful. The road's in actually surprisingly good condition, and we had a great time. When we finally made it to the top of Issyk Pass, we were greeted with our first view of Song Kul Lake, which is where we're going to be spending the next 2 days, having a rest, enjoying the hospitality of the nomads, and just existing. After pushing up to Issyk Pass with a super steep trail, we were super happy to find this hard pack double trail that led us down into Song Kul Lake, just bombing on this super smooth trail, cutting through the hillsides, cutting through this herd of goats, and making our way to the yurt camps at the bottom. After cruising down the hill and getting to the shore of Lake Song Kul, we stopped at the first yurt camp that we saw, walked in, said hello, introduced ourselves, and asked if they had any tents available, and they did. So we booked a yurt with this family, stayed with them for 2 nights, and tomorrow would be a rest day to enjoy the lake and to enjoy the semi-nomadic life here in Kyrgyzstan. The life of a nomad might be simple, but that doesn't mean you can't have opulence. For a rest day, we did a bit of exploring. We walked down to the lake, we walked up to the hills, we played with the farm animals, we pet the horses, we pet the cows, we pet all the dogs, we watched eagles flying through the sky, we watched the shepherds moving their flocks from hillside to hillside, and just generally enjoyed just being in this environment where life is so simple, but it's also so rich. Sunny got startled awake from her nap with a horse sticking her head inside the yurt, followed by another one that also seemed surprised that there was somebody inside. As the sun set, the clouds started to roll in and were looking a little dark, and the wind started to pick up. It got a little windy.
We just had to change yurts because ours kind of fell over. There's a big windstorm going on, and half of the poles that support the roof
Hit me in the head.
yeah, landed on Sunday in the middle of the night. So now we're in a different one, and the family is working on fixing the tent with all of our stuff in it.
They're not.
Yeah. So we'll sleep here tonight.
So last night was pretty interesting. That big windstorm that came through nearly knocked over our yurt. Had the whole family there holding it down while Dad and the oldest son got some 2x4s, chopped them up into stakes, and trying to stake down the bottom. It was pretty interesting. But now the storm's passed. I don't know if you can see kind of behind me there the mountains with a bit of snow on the top. That wasn't there yesterday. That's new from yesterday's storm. So now we're heading along the north side of Song Kul Lake, making our way back towards Kochkor. We'll stop somewhere along the way. It's about 100 k's total, so we'll stop somewhere over the pass. But the further east that we go along this along the lake, seeing more and more large yurt camps are getting bigger, and there's more of them. So I think most of the tourists tend to come up from the east side and set up their camp here. So glad we stopped where we did. It was pretty quiet and peaceful. It seems to be a bit more touristy this way, but either way, absolutely beautiful. Beautiful views, beautiful day. Sun's just starting to peek through. It's still a bit cloudy, but otherwise looking forward to some good riding today.
Yeah, this is Sergo, and Zaya, who took bastard? Yeah, come on.
The first couple hours of the day, we were following the north shore of Lake Song Kul. It was easy riding, nice fast double track, beautiful hillsides, looking at the mountains, lots of horses, lots of cattle, lots of sheep, lots of birds, everything. It's just a beautiful view. And then we started to climb up Kalmak Ashu, which is the main route if you're going from Kochkor to Song Kul. Crested the pass, going downhill on the backside of the pass was amazing. Had amazing views. It was nice and fast, but we nearly burned out our brakes on more than one occasion. So just be careful. Make sure to take lots of stops, lots of rests, and let your brakes cool off. Once we got to the valley, we quickly made our way down to Kangsu.
So just walking through the little town of Kangsu, which is the first village that we came to on the way out from Song Kul Lake. You can see that behind me the mountains are just absolutely beautiful. It's a nice little spot. First place we can find a magazine and some vodka. Otherwise, tomorrow we're heading to Kochkor.
This beautiful soul is Lucy, a stray dog that found us while we were camping in Kangsu, and she stayed guard, watching over us all night, slept next to the tent, and kept us company. We were escorted out of town, and after a few kilometers we made it to another small ridge, and it was all downhill from there. I think this is my favorite road in Kyrgyzstan. Just bombing down this random back road between Kangsu heading back to the main highway. Super fast gravel road, and the hills, the mountains in the background, the sky. It was amazing. We made it back to the highway and made good time back towards Kachkor. The roads were fast, the traffic was pretty good, everyone gave us plenty of room, there's no issues with bad drivers or anything like that. It was a nice cruise back down to civilization. After absolutely gorging ourselves on pizza in Kachkor, which was surprisingly good for the middle of nowhere in Central Asia, we had a big day of riding ahead. 83 kilometers, all pavement, all highway, sun, exposed, headwind. It was a struggle at times, but some of us were having more fun than the others until we hit the construction. The construction zones were miserable, choking on dust the entire time. But then we made it to Issyk Kul Lake.
So we just left Kegety, a little village there. We attempted to get a bus because we're pretty cooked after 82 kilometers yesterday, but after waiting for like, 1 or 2 hours and being bothered by a very drunk local guy, we've decided to keep going, and we're just currently pushing up a massive 10-kilometer hill of about 5% grade, which doesn't sound like a lot, but when you're fully loaded, it's a bit of a climb. You're almost there. It's right there.
There was a lot of construction going on this highway on the south side of Issyk Kul Lake, and some of it was getting to the point where it was actually quite dangerous.
So I have to show you around the beautiful guest house that we found here. So first off, this beautiful courtyard with flowers and roses and a little spot for our bikes behind us there. But as we move into the house here, it just gets more and more stunning. A beautiful area to sit outside, more nice roses. Shoes off, as is the custom. Looking around through here is absolutely gorgeous. These rugs are handmade by the mother that lives here. This beautiful artwork, beautiful frescoes. The room itself is quite nice. Again, ignore the mess, our bags exploded, but just this beautiful handmade rug. I'll move around. Got the shower in the back there, really well done. This is kind of the eating area and the nook, and again, everything in here, all the sheets and padding, sit pads, all this stuff is handmade, and it is absolutely beautiful. So far, this is by far the nicest guest house that we've stayed in, and we just randomly found it in a small town on the south side of Issyk Kul, in the kitchen.
For our rest day in Bokonbaevo, we booked an eagle hunting show. So we rode about 10 kilometers to get to the location in the valley and the foothills of the mountains.
These golden eagles catch prey always with claws.
Those are huge.
Very long, very sharp.
Yes.
Nails also very sharp. Kill also always with claws. Maybe eagle catch fox, jackal, wolves. always eagle catch with close the mouth like this.
Oh yeah.
Close it mouth.
So they don't
Yes,
bite.
then
Yeah.
don't bite. Can
Oh.
with close.
Good job, girl.
Eagle can digest bone and meat.
Oh wow.
Eagle finish digest bone and meat, only fur, vomit. This fur cleaning eagle's stomach.
Oh.
Maybe in the season hunting, autumn time, winter time, eagle vomit animals fur. After vomit, we can go to hunting. This eagle.
Hey, girl.
With about 130 kilometers left to get to Karakol, we decided we just could not go through that much construction, so we hired a car. One of the places you absolutely must stop at is Skazka Canyon, or Fairy Tale Canyon, and it is an otherworldly landscape of these red rock sandstone formations that have been upturned. They're vertical, super steep, and it was really cool to see on the shore of Lake Issyk Kul. Stay tuned for part 3 as we explore Karakol.
Жарқы күнге теңелсең жаштығыңдың жамалы